Okay, our life is a mess right now. This is day 2 of living in the RV. We've been here about 24 hours. We are at the Sun Outdoors in Pigeon Forge, and the water here, not great. So about a month ago, I got a Waterdrop reverse osmosis system, and I'm gonna try and install it under the sink with a spout coming out of the countertop, so we have fresh, clean water. Supposedly, it doesn't waste as much water as a normal reverse osmosis system. I will link the actual one we received down in the comments. The last RV, we actually had a triple water filter setup. This RV actually came with one filter built in, and then the fridge itself came with one filter. So really kind of like a double filter, but we want even better tasting water this time around. So we're gonna try this reverse osmosis system. Drilling into a countertop, never fun. We're also gonna get into the drain system of the sink as well. So some stuff is kind of critical, iffy, so we'll give it a shot and see how it works. This is underneath the kitchen sink. You've got the sink up here. You've got the dishwasher right here. It looks like a user replaceable P-trap. That's nice. And I guess this is ABS. You've got the vent here. You've got PEX lines running to it. This is your dishwasher hose as far as the drain is concerned, and it's on the opposite side of the P-trap. I believe we're going to be tapping into here before the P-trap, but I'll have to read the directions. That goes down into the bottom of the RV. We've got a fire blanket, some cutting boards, and then again, I think this is a drawing rack, but it goes out and in. I'm gonna try and maybe make use of this, but chances are this will probably have to come out to fit the reverse osmosis system. We'll probably end up having to drill a hole up through the countertop there to bring all the water lines down. So let's give it a shot. So again, this isn't a sponsored post. This is something we bought and paid for. So I'll give you our honest opinion as far as the install is concerned, as far as the quality of everything. So it looks like we've got our manual here, quick setup. Got our hoses, yep, quick connect fittings and hoses. Whew. It is much bigger than I was anticipating. Oh. Let me get a tape measure.
We're gonna fit it in there?
Oh yeah, we'll fit it, but let's get a tape measure and see exactly how big this thing is. Size on this guy, we are looking at 17.5 inches tall by roughly 17 inches wide. So we'll say 18 by 17, rounding up by, we'll say worst case is 5.5 to 6 inches wide. You have your water hookups in the rear right here. And then these are where your filters go. Don't know exactly which filter goes where. There is the faucet. Unfortunately, we got stainless steel as opposed to black like all the other fixtures, but that's okay. So this guy is the RO filter, the reverse osmosis membrane filter. Nothing as far as lifespan is concerned, but this is the biggest one. So this one would actually go on the bottom right here. Your medium one, this is your pre-sediment and carbon block filter. And the top one is the thinnest. Oh, that's another activated carbon. So this is pre-sediment and carbon block. And the smallest one is the carbon filter, but you can look at the size difference. So that's the kit. Let's go ahead and dry fit it and see exactly what we're gonna have to remove to install this bad boy. So we were discussing power for the reverse osmosis system. And if you look down in that corner right there, it's actually where the dishwasher plugs into, and it's got 2 outlets. So we will actually be able to hook the reverse osmosis system right there. So, figured out what that red tubing is for. The red tubing is the waste tube, so that's why it's red. I think I'm gonna try and somehow mount it. I was gonna strap it maybe. Or when we actually have to change the filter, we're actually gonna have to move it. Pop it out, do what we need to do, and then pop it back in. So we'll probably end up running a strap from here to here just to hold it against the wall from moving. But look at all that space we still have. That's awesome. All right, so got this. I'm gonna mount this up when we plug in. That way it stays off the ground in case there's some sort of leak and we don't have some sort of electrical issue. This guy, I'm gonna go ahead and move out of the way for right now. And completely forgot to turn off the water. So let me go do that real quick. And we are back. We have got the cold water turned off. And so now we are going to be adding this fitting. It has a little arrow how it wants water to flow. And so this will be going down here. We will not be needing that adapter because that'll be plugging in there. We will be using that adapter up above here. So won't need this adapter. This goes here. And then we'd have to use a small one here to make that work. So it's gonna go like that, and then we'll loop it around and kind of go from there. One thing you have to get used to when you're living in an RV is working in confined spaces. Yep, nothing bad. All right, let's get this adapter off. I just love the fact that everything is PEX, none of that soft tube. That's kind of not fun to work with. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna thread this in. We're gonna thread it back. I'm gonna thread it this way with the on-off switch on this side. There we go, tight. All right, this is again a compression fitting and then a compression fitting there. So, oops, let's get you on there first. And again, anytime I've worked with a compression fitting, you don't want to over tighten it. You just want to make sure it's snug. Yep. There you go. Took all the slop out. Make sure we still have easy access to the cutoff valve, which is right there, which we do. And then this should go on just like so. Be very gentle with the threads. You don't cross thread it. Alright, so should be good. That's that. Next step, via the directions. Step 2, install the RO faucet. If your kitchen sink or countertop does not have an existing hole, you will have to drill a 1-inch hole referring to the instruction manual. Alright, so now we need to figure out exactly where this is going. Yeah, so we'll go in the corner. Then we're not hitting it. It's about right in there. All right, so wife came in and she spoke and she wants it on the other side. So we are going to be doing it on the other side now. 7 is about right there. 7/8 of an inch up. Oh yeah, it's going through that real easy. Through. Came out clean. Perfect. Down you go. Perfect. Installing the drain saddle. Choose a spot on the vertical drain pipe as high as possible and drill a 1/4-inch hole. So vertical drain pipe, I assume it's going to be here. Above the P-trap, use wastewater tubing as a guide to position the drain saddle by tightening the screws. Go there. Yeah, we'll go there and go straight back with it. Perfect. As cleanly as we can. We're no pros, but there we go. Go ahead and get one on before lining it up through here until you see it come on this side. There you go. Ah, there it is. But it looks to be a hair too small. Nope, it wasn't. All right, so that's about as high up. I left a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch gap, 1/4 of an inch gap. And I'm just doing this hand tight right now. We'll come back and tighten it up later. Now it's time to position the actual RO system. I need to get this done too. So this is the RO plug right here. It's going to come down and plug in. You can see it. And this is a cord that is incredibly long. So I think I'm actually going to mount this up by here to plug in here. And then we'll undo this cord to come down. There it is. So plugged in. Plugged in. I'm all about as good a cable management as you can get. So that's pretty solid. Everything threaded. I got the light down here. We'll move that. All set up there. And needed the wife's help to get that all situated. So we've got the saddle drain right here, ready to go. We've got the adapter right here coming in from the cold line, ready to go. So now we are on step 5, connecting everything. So we need to position the RO system where it needs to go. Before we plug this in, we are going to feed everything in. We've got your feed here, your input, your filtered, your waste, and then you've got the faucet up here and then the power right next to it right here, okay? So power is not hard to do. Obviously the waste goes into the red waste one. The filtered is going to be the filtered water going back up into the actual faucet, and then the input is going to be coming from the water line. Let's go ahead and do that. So this one is actually coming from the system itself, so that one's going to be filtered. I'm going to turn this now. That way, when we are ready to go, we can just slide it back. Again, trying to keep things relatively clean. Filtered is going to go into the filtered. We're just going to pop that out, pop this in, filtered, and it's just a simple firm press. Now we've got the input. All right, same thing, kind of work with, it wants to spin a little bit, and we'll get this all cleaned up here in a little bit. But this one is going to go here. Same thing. Nice firm press. All the way in. Perfect. All right, now we've got the waste. Pop that out. Waste. We will go ahead and get it in all the way. They are all in now. All right, so we've got these little clips. I think we can just kind of fit these in. There we go. All right, so slip it under and then push on. There it is. Perfect. All right, we got all those installed. Let's go back into place. Plug this in up here. All right, we have it plugged in. This guy right here. And this is power for the sensor up top that tells you how many particles are in your water. Lots of fun cables back here now. It's not too crazy. It should stay to the side for the most part. And then we'll keep this up so it's easy to plug in. But before we plug it in, we need to get this situated right here. Sure none of these are kinked. They're all going vertical. Yep, vertical, vertical. There we go. Right, it is now time to insert the filters. So again, it's kind of biggest to smallest. And so we start with the ones up top and work our way down. All right, so I guess we just insert. Turn. Okay, it's a quarter turn. This is what happens when you have a kitty that wants to snuggle while you're doing this. Old man. He thinks it's time to bake some biscuits. There we go. There we go. Got the second one. Take the plastic on this off. And here we go. All right. The startup system. Turn on cold water supply valve and feed water adapter. Connect to power adapter. Wait for 5 minutes, allowing the system to flush automatically. And then turn on the RO faucet. Allow it to run 30 minutes until the display screen shows TDS reading. Okay. You don't need to lick me. So let's go ahead and get this connected, and we will turn on the water. All right, let's check for leaks real quick. we got that on. All right, gotta move you real quick, Lazarus. So I'm just checking right through here, make sure there's no leaks, and it doesn't look like there's any leaking. All right, we will try and go for the RO system now. So let's turn on the water. Okay, no leak there. Let's go ahead and plug her in, see how she runs. Oh, she's on. Let's get this back where we want it. Back a little bit. It says it does its own thing for about 5 minutes, and then it wants you to run the actual faucet for about 30 minutes to bleed the system, I guess. And then you'll get a reading up there for the TDS. You can see what that looks like right now. It's kind of cool. Almost sounds like there's a chipmunk inside there. Oh, you can hear it draining. Let's look, see if we see any drain leaks. Back when we had the farm, I got like a 10-pack of these. I'll link them on our post, but just straps. I use these for chicken water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this to size to what we need and then strap it, and that way it will stay tight to the floor and tight to the wall right here. And we don't have to worry about it shifting when we're moving. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right. That's all she wrote. All right, so they tell you that you're supposed to run this for 30 minutes once you hook it up for the first time. And I guess eventually you'll get a TDS reading up there. And I guess these down here tell you when you're supposed to replace the actual filter for that specific area of the system. And so we'll continue running this for 30 minutes, but being in an RV, we'll probably have to dump the gray tank a couple times. And then you can kind of see this, it just is spiraling. Still no leaks, so that's good, but we will continue running this, and you can see the strap tight enough to where it won't come loose. And yeah, came out pretty solid. So it's been a couple months since we installed the reverse osmosis system by Waterdrop. I wanted to wait a couple months for our final kind of showcase on the reverse osmosis system because we weren't sure how well it would work, what problems we might have with it, especially on the road with everything kind of bumping around underneath the sink. But it's been flawless. So we installed it just about 2.5 months ago. We've had 0 issues with it. We've strapped it down. We've had no leaks, no odd tasting water, no water pressure issues. And because our family drinks so much water, we're expecting to get a ton of use out of it. You can see that's the speed at which it comes out. And we fill these water bottles a ton. I like to drink these strawberry lemonade True Lemon packets. So yeah, it's been nothing short of amazing, especially living in an RV with great tasting water. It doesn't really matter where you end up staying, what the water quality is like, because we end up having great tasting water. Definitely recommend it. If we ever decide to get off the road again in years down the road, we will probably get one of these for the house as well. But overall, very happy with it.